Hello, everybody. Welcome to another wacky GuineaPigDan stream. Okay, I just want to check and make sure my volume's on. Hello, Ken. Can you hear me? I was about to put on the stream on my iPad. I have it I only have very limited. Well, actually, I have a lot of USB ports, but okay, good. It's just the USB port that connects to my stereo. I took that out to plug in my camera. OBS bot. If I could do like a robot roll call, like a Mystery Science Theater 3000, I'd hold up a mirror. Actually, wait, maybe I could just do that with robot roll call. Yeah, there. OBS bot. Yeah, you got to see kind of my messy closet behind for just a moment. Anyway, I was just gonna wait a few minutes for more people to come in, but then I'll get started on. I should announce this is the Flaming Pie art stream and not, post jury duty whatever, because that's like what I did that last week. That's old news. While I'm waiting, I guess I'll show off some new books I bought. Well, they're not new books; they're old books. But I went into like a bookstore in Berkeley and found a bookstore that's got a bunch of old Pogo books. This is a bunch of books that like reprint the old Pogo comics from before Walt Kelly did the comic strip. But this was like a volume I was missing. I had volumes 1, 2, and 4, but not 3. But now I found 3. So, I don't know. It kind of reminds me of Brer Rabbit here from Song of the South, a little. Song of the South was, what year was that? 1947? I guess I should make it a little bigger so you can, you can see the book better here. Yeah, I've been reading a lot of Pogo lately. And then I found this is a book I think that came out after Walt Kelly died, and you can see his widow's signature there, Selby. But I like that Pogo is doing kind of a Mega Man slide here. Jump, jump, slide, slide. But I like how these Pogo books, like, it's not just the comics, it's also like, here's a bunch of photos of Walt Kelly, I don't know, meeting famous people or newspaper articles and college, college newspapers, I guess, talking about the comic strip back when it was popular. Yeah, and I've got a bunch of other books here that, books I've bought but haven't gotten around to reading at all yet. Let's see. I got this from Bloom County to Mars. I'm sorry if I say this guy's name wrong. Berkeley Breathitt, the guy that created Opus. This was a book I got recently. It was my dad that was the big Opus fan because he likes penguins. So he had a bunch of the old Bloom County comics. Even though this was like a more adult-oriented comic strip, I still liked reading it. Hi, Tommy. And it is kind of interesting, even as a kid, you may not understand all the political humor that Berkeley Breathitt is doing, but there's still, funny stuff happening. There's one comic where Opus eats a dandelion and he turns into this giant monster, and he says something along the lines of, alert! The effects of consuming dandelions isn't just a lie made up by the liberal media, or something like that, and, as a kid, I had no idea what Opus meant by a liberal media or whatever, but he turned into something really freaky, so that a kid could at least understand that. I decided to wear something different aside from my GuineaPigDan shirt. Let's see what else I got here. A while ago, I got a really big biography of Jack Kirby, the Marvel Comics guy, and I decided to get the book that reprints a bunch of his really old stuff. Like, I thought, if I read a biography on Jack Kirby, I might as well just get some books of his actual comics. Jeez, I want to be very careful saying Jack Kirby because I don't want to accidentally say Jack Chick, a very different cartoonist. Yeah, I'm defaming Jack Kirby here, mentioning him next to Jack Chick. Yeah, I have to be careful with cartoonists named Jack. Yeah, what else do I got here? I've got a bunch of books. I have a Garfield art book next to my bed that, hello, Wax Badger, that I haven't gotten around to yet. But it's just I have so many books I want to get through, comics and books about comics, the art of Berkeley Breathitt, the art of Garfield. That's the Garfield book I have that I was going to read sooner or later. I have an art of Hanna-Barbera, a really big one I got. And it's got like sheet music for very simple, just one note at a time, to show you how to play like Huckleberry Hound's tune, things like that, and it should be very interesting. I also got some. Guess I might show these off. Yeah, I got this for Christmas. I wanted to practice more Spanish, since I'm doing some drawings with Spanish dialogue. My parents got me a Spanish Snoopy book. Yeah, The Great Adventure of Snoopy and Woodstock by Charles M. Schulz. Although, well, it wouldn't be by Charles Schulz because I bet this book came out years after Schulz died. Yeah, 2017. This would not be something Charles Schulz wrote, unless they were directly adapting a comic he did. Yeah, but the only Hanna-Barbera thing I know about besides Tom is Jellystone. Oh, the newer cartoon. Aquí me tiene. Here I have myself in order to help with the Spanish, mister. Oh, thank you. You're here to help me with Spanish. And then something a little more unusual. I also got these in a Japantown, some Pokemon children's books to practice trying reading hiragana and katakana, although I just sound it out. I wouldn't know what any of it actually says. I mean, it could be, this book could be a story about how Eevee is feeding Pikachu its boogers or something, but I'd have no idea unless I looked at the pictures and took a guess what the context was or something. Alrighty. There's a couple people in here, so I might as well shrink down here. Look at that. That's windows within windows ad infinitum. But let's bring up Domino. Alrighty, so I've made some progress on drawing Domino here. I've got, you can see to the side, a lot of layers for different shadows on him. And I have the flaming pie on a separate layer. Right there. And what I was going to try and do is shade Domino so it looks like he's illuminated by the fire. Which is a bit difficult since, I don't have a blowtorch or anything I can set on fire safely for reference, other than maybe looking up videos of people in front of bonfires or something. Maybe I could, I don't know. Do they have bonfires at Burning Man? I just assume there's fires because it's called Burning Man. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, I was working on this late last night, but then I decided to go to sleep. And then one of the challenging things here is the cast shadow from his arm on his stomach. And I took a photo ref of myself posing like this. I'm not going to show the photo. A lot of my photo refs are a little embarrassing, so I'm not gonna subject you all to that. But looking at my photo ref, seeing how my hands are shaded and everything, like, let me look for that layer I have on Domino's arm. I've got so many layers here. Yeah. The photo ref I took, I think I should shade more of Domino's arm here. So this is a layer of I'm probably going to redo. But first I wanted to do this layer, this shadow here, this cast shadow on his stomach. Let me turn on, and I might, trying to think, I might redraw some shadows. I'm not entirely sure. Or maybe erase a little bit. I'm not entirely sure. But let's stop lollygagging and just draw. Alright, so yeah, I can't show my photo refs, but looking at what I shot, it looks like the arm shadow, like the arm shadow is like goes really far out this way. Like you might not even see it. I don't know. I'll just eyes on fire. I want to slice on it. Yeah. Alright, so shrink it down. I might maybe like this. Oops. Careful not to knock over my... I might lighten this shadow. I don't know. It's just looks a little awkward to me. Like I'm trying to be accurate to like how a shadow being cast on from his arm would look, but I don't know if it really looks right. I might return to this later. I don't know. Let's see, where's his arm? There we go. I'm gonna redo this one. You can see I have color refs for the fire and the shadows, and Domino's colors right there. I think it was that color I used. Well, let me see. Yeah, that's the right one. Okay, we'll just do a new layer here. It's like I got a couple refs. I think I'll just... It almost looks like I'm giving Domino a sunburn. But that's how my ref looks. Fingers are... There we go. Just trying to think, should I have this finger illuminate a little bit? And finger on top would kind of cast a shadow on it. So maybe not. And the way I'm looking at the shadows, it looks like the bicep, in my photo ref, the bicep is more illuminated. So I might erase a bit here. Well, have I ever played music while cooking? No, I usually cook in silence. You know, when I'm cooking off stream, I mean. A few times I've done that. I think I've played music while doing the dishes. Let's see. Okay, that's a shadow I can get rid of there. I might. Yeah, I'm gonna just save this as a separate file. There. Because I'm gonna be deleting some shadow layers here. And I'll go into Photoshop later and adjust these shadows further. You know, make them actually go in the lines and everything. So, like, I guess it's a little shadow from the shape of the thumb. This. I don't think we need that. But it does make Domino look a little more round on his features. I should make the flaming pie disappear a bit. I might keep that one around. There, just so I know I'm not going to use that layer. I just typed "do not use" in giant capitals. Trying to like figure out. Let's see. Let's look at other arm. That layer off. I put a little cast shadow on Domino's. Well, I'm not palm, thumb, whatever this part is, where the line at the bottom of your thumb. But the photo ref I'm using, it doesn't have that much of a shadow, really. So I guess I could erase this, wherever the cast shadow layer is. If I could. hand is shaded. Kind of an unusual way. It was like, well, Domino's arm isn't exactly in the same position as my arm in my photo ref, but I can see some tiny cast shadows from my hand, the side of my hand here that are cast on my wrist. Maybe I could do something similar. Let me find, what layer was I on? Let's look at, okay, that's one shadow I need to fix. Looking at my photo ref. Yeah, I did not have, the photo ref I'm using, the shadows on, the thumb is on the other side. So let me redo that. Yeah, this is why photo refs are very important. So, very carefully. I mean, just taking photos, I'm finding out things I didn't anticipate with how they'd be shaded. Yeah, it has a slight shadow on the wrist there, so that's probably do that. And I don't know if it'd be totally realistic to have I'm not sure if it pads of your hand. Like, I don't remember the names of all the hand anatomy. There's, of course, finger joints, or the places where your fingers bend, but I don't really show those very prominently on Domino. Whoops. So I'm not sure I'm going to worry about those. I'll probably there, illuminate, raise some shadow there. I don't think I really have to change a lot on Domino's, left arm here. Like, aside from just changing the shadow on the thumb, I think this is okay. So I'll just go into Photoshop in a bit. Let me just look at all the other shadow layers. See if there's anything I think needs fixing. His toes. I think that one's alright. Shadows on his belly button. I think those are okay. That shadows on his arm is okay. Shadow on his stomach. I'll fix that in Photoshop. Okay, this is one where I'm not entirely sure. Now, the shadow from the flaming pie. Like, I was trying to do a cast shadow under a Domino's head, but it's like, I'm looking at my photo refs. There's one photo I took where, Now, what I was doing, I was posing in front of a light that's in my room next to my bed to kind of simulate, like I have some bright light source shining on me that I'd use for Domino. But I have one shot where the shadow under my head that's being cast onto my neck and chest is like very low and goes like this. But then I have two other photographs where there's more of a shadow on my chest, kind of like this. I guess it was maybe due to the angling my head or something. But I'm trying to decide, like, do I want to redo the shadow under Domino's head or not? I'll probably just do a little bit of erasing. I mean, if I'm not totally sure, I can just duplicate it. I'll have the original in case I'm not happy with the job I do trying to fix this. I think that's okay. There we go. I don't know. Mirror it just to see how it looks. It looks alright. I think I remember I don't remember if it was like a color and design class or something, like when you do shadows. Like if you have a orange or yellowish shadow, you make the shadows like look blue, and then if you have like a blue light or something, you make the shadows reddish or something. Like the shadows are the opposite color of the light source. I didn't do that here. I'm doing like kind of reddish brown shadows, but I can take it into Photoshop and shift the hue and everything if I'm not happy with it. I'm just not entirely sure. I mean, looking at my photographs, I can kind of see a bit of a blue light or blue shade. It could just be the camera exposure, I don't know. So maybe later I'll shift the hue and make these shadows all blue or something. I was just trying to make it look like try to make it look like the fire is like glowing on Domino or something. Okay. So, all right, shadows on his toes here. I was thinking like maybe adding tiny cast shadows from the toes on the foot. So I might do that. Trying to remember which. This one. No, I think that one's a little darker. Yeah, I have to check my colors I'm using. Okay, that one. There we go. I wonder if I'll shoot. extra shadow to his foot here. So maybe, yeah, I think it's all right. Now the ear shade, I think that's okay. Shading on his cheeks. His mouth. His tongue. Eyes. Okay, and there's the cast shadow from... Okay. I think most of the shadows look alright. It's just the arm cast shadow that's still I'm trying to figure out, but I'll take this into Photoshop and how long have I been going on? About 30 minutes. Okay. I might do an hour or 90 minutes. There we go. There we go. And this is a very useful tool I have in Photoshop. It's like the select. I mean, GIMP has a similar tool, but Photoshop I feel like is more precise. Select pixels. And I know which layer I haven't done yet. I name each layer as I go. If I have it say layer or whatever, I'll know that's a layer I haven't fixed yet. Alright. I'll just say... And I don't think there's any other adjustments I need to do here, so I'll just call this left thumb shade. And then here, I'll do those. Let's do an easy one first. Oh, okay. For this one, the toe cast shadow, well, all I have to do is just go around like this, make sure the shadow's within the lines, and that's it. There we go. Very subtle. Okay, these ones are going to be the more complicated. All right. Zoom in. Yeah, those books I showed off earlier, those aren't all of them. I don't know if my camera shows them, but I have a bunch more books over here, like Jack Kirby's Fourth World, some Fantastic Four comics, one of Alan Moore's comics, I think League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and a Steven Silver character designing book. Those are books I got for Christmas, and I still need to read them. I have a bad habit of like buying a bunch of books and then not reading them. Like, I feel a little guilty that when I met Don Bluth at SAC Anime, I told him, "Oh, I'm gonna read Disney's what is it, Drawn to Life or Illusion of Life?" That's it, and I still haven't gotten to it. But one of these days, I'll try and commit myself to reading that grimoire of animation secrets. Okay. Shade. Okay, this one's going to be a little more difficult because okay, the way I shaded this, I just completely did a clean erase and then I think used a like a blurry eraser at the end just to make it look smooth. But let's see. Actually, looking at my photo refs. Actually, I might go over this again just because. Let me turn on the back shade. Oh, it's fine. I think it's okay. It's just looking at my photo refs, the shadow on the shoulder or on the bicep kind of goes into the shadow on my back. So it looks kind of continuous. But let's turn off. It kind of just barely meets there. Let's turn off the layers. Maybe I'll use another eraser or something just to make them blend better. I don't know. Let's just although it would get kind of complicated because I have Domino's his white and black hair around this area, and it'd be a little difficult. I'd have to use a color that can go on both. Okay, here we go. Zoom in. Okay. The digital outlines were done on my iPad in Procreate, whereas all the shadowing and everything is being done here in Sketchbook Pro and Photoshop. So it's like I switch between programs all the time. Okay. So now I'll be very, very careful. Probably turn off that back shadow so I can see a little more easy. There. I think that looks fine. Let's turn on shade. That looks fine, I think. Turn on the pie. Yeah, that does look pretty good. layer. But now, we need to do a really challenging one. Well, let me turn on the other shadow layers. Oh. Okay, that's just... I'm going to have a highlight layer eventually. Oh. So this is what I have so far. Now if I turn on the layer where the cast shadow from his arm is, it's like I don't know how much I want it to curve. Like, do I want a cast shadow that's more straight down, kind of like... Well, I don't think I want the cast shadow over his belly button. That would be too centered. It should be probably going this way. It's just I'm trying to follow the curvature of his stomach. I'll figure it out. Alright, let's take this back into Sketchbook Pro. Yeah, when I get a chance, I'll probably color shift all the shadows just to see how they look. If I make them look blue or something. I have another layer somewhere. Where is it? Like in case I want to tint Domino orange to make him look like he's kind of glowing. And I might apply some bright highlights to like, add the areas where where he's illuminated by the fire. I'm not entirely decided though if that's how I want to do it. Because Domino is kind of looking a little orangish already. Just putting these sort of brown looking, reddish brown shadows. I need to sneeze. Bless me. Yeah, I'm just trying to make it look like Domino's illuminated by a fire. Trying to think. Eventually I do want to add some highlights also. If I can't figure out the cast shadow on oh, damn it. Shoot. I have photo refs or color refs for Domino's tongue and the inside of his mouth, but not for the... I chose a specific color for the tongue highlight, but since Domino's being illuminated by flames, I guess it doesn't matter. Where's my highlight layer? No, I can do better than that. I'm going to try to figure out how bright Domino's nose should be. You know what, I'll just work on this cast shadow here. I forget what layer is layer 3 here. Shoot. It's probably a layer for cast shadows I did. I forgot what, I can search what it is. Oh, wait. That's the new layer I made for the arm cast shadow. My bad. What was I thinking? There we go. Be careful. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. But I will have to turn off all these other layers. Okay. That's not a bad cast shadow, I think. After I work on this cast shadow here, I'll probably start doing reflected light. I'll probably just like put just little white highlights on the bottom of Domino's cheeks and on his back. Nothing too complicated. Okay, let's get a little closer. Actually, wait. Let me do this. There we are. Yeah. coloring and shading can be very meticulous sometimes. Like on my iPad, I've been doing, I guess, I don't know what exactly, cell shading or something. Like where the shadows are just solid and they're not blurry like what I'm doing here. There we go. Starting to feel a little tired. Jeez. Probably just a long day at work. Okay. There. Now be very careful. That's the old one. Where's the arm shade again? Shoot. Okay. Now we're going to get into a bit of trouble where the two kind of blend. Shoot. Let me try. Oops. Okay. I could probably go over with another shadow color or something, fixing imperfections. There we go. It's only now I just looked at the chat saying bless you. Thank you, Tommy. There we go. There we are. See, that's for cast shadow. Oh, that's the old one. My bad. Get rid of that one. Oh, did I? I think I accidentally hit duplicate rather than delete. That's why I got confused. Shit, did I just fall asleep on stream for a moment? Yeah, I might be a bit tired. I just... I might doze off a little for a moment. I mean, I am just like Garfield here. I mean, staring at a computer screen isn't exactly the most exciting job sometimes. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna make the transition there a little softer. There we go. Just wanna... There. Blends a little better together like that. Do I want to keep the shadow that harsh or maybe lighten it a bit? I'm not sure if I got the shadow looking right. Just wondering. Let me try something different. What if I made the shadow more like that. Of course, if I did do that, I'd be going across the back of his fur. And this is, like for shadowing on his the white part of his fur, not the black part. So I might have to use the regular color. I'm not sure which I like better, like the arm shadow going backwards like that, or downward like this. I'm not tired, I'm just resting my eyes. Huh. Trying to think, like, is this really the way I want that? What if I had the shadow more like this? I'm not sure like which I prefer, having it go downward like this or more outward like this. I mean, I thought this would make sense because the cast shadow is going this way. Well, on the other hand, it's like it could also go this way. Like, which way makes more sense? On a round surface like Domino's stomach. Part of me is almost leaning towards having it like this. I'm not sure. I mean, if there was like some lighting expert I could consult, that would help a lot. It's like I can't decide which type of. I can't figure out like how the cast shadow from the arm would go. It would go down like this, or curve like that. It could go either way, really. If I had like, I don't know, a Garfield plushie or something that I could reference. Yeah, something really fat. Whoop. I mean, trying to see how Garfield's arms. I mean, okay, these are stubby arms, but. Which way do his arm shadows fall on his body? I might have to get a single light source, though, not like multiple lights I have in my room. So, if you excuse me, I'm gonna do an experiment here. Let's see, how long have I been? Oh, hour and 6 minutes. I might do this for like 15 more minutes or so. I don't want these files to get too big for my computer. So I'm going to do some light experiments with Garfield, just to figure out how the shadows on him would work, and how the shadows on Domino might work. Okay. Turn out the lights here. Yeah, sorry I'm off camera. Actually, looking at Garfield, his arms are so short. Yeah, it would help if he had like, longer arms. Trying to look at how the lights fall on my body. Okay, let me see, like... Yeah, I'm like looking at several big plushies over here, trying to figure out how the arms would... That's what I'm doing off camera right now. Very round plushies. Not just Garfield, I'm looking at Snoopy. I got some round Snoopy plushies. Just trying to figure out, like, what direction would the shadow curve on Garfield's body, Domino's body, I mean. I mean, I could point the camera over here, but I don't want to show off my messy bed. Sorry. Okay, let me turn the lights back on. Actually, wait. I didn't have to turn off the lights. I could just... Okay. Has Domino ever met Garfield? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Wax Badger just links that drawing. Yeah, Garfield was basically like Buzz-Off fanboy. Yeah, okay. My savior was not a Garfield doll. It was actually a new Blastoise doll I got. Like, I don't know if it's... You know, there are multiple lights in my room, but just seeing how the shadow of the arms curve on its body. Like, depending on the light source, you can see, you know, curving this way, curving down like that. I'm starting to lean towards actually, shoot, like, I'm starting to think that, I mean, looking at the Blastoise doll here, the way the arms curve. I'm starting to think the way I have it drawn right here is probably correct. I mean, maybe the shadow would curve out this way depending on where the light source was. But I'm starting to think this is more correct. So I'll just stick with this for now. I'll just say Alt Shadow. In case, I change my mind or something. Yeah, thank you very much, Blastoise. I'll just stick you here for now. Make that a clip for YouTube where I'm just completely off camera for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or however long I was. I'm trying to think. What will I do next? Okay, I'm not gonna have Domino tinted this much, but just so, let's say I did tint him like this. This is just so I could see where I could highlight him. Let me add another layer. Oops. Just so I could see the highlights better. I'm gonna add a dark gray background. So I'm going to add some highlights now. Oh, and some reflected light also. I bring you fire. Do, 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 do. Yeah, his mask gets illuminated. Let's try that again. The whole round part. Nope. There we go. Alright, and then down those cheeks. It does look a bit like he's glowing here. There we go. Oh, that's a muzzle. I could maybe, like, extend the glowing to his chin and everything. That'll probably be illuminated. There we go. It's a little better. What time is it? Okay. I might stop the stream in a bit and then restart it, just so these files don't get too big. So, let's see. I'll just... do I want to have a stream boo? That's a spam bot. Okay, just a moment. There. So this will be a two-parter stream. But first, let me get rid of this welcoming gator Mr. VGU. Okay, you're a spam bot. Let me get my deletion powers. Let's see. Shit, I haven't done this in a while. Can I do this in pin message? Where's the delete? Oh, shit. Come on. Where's the delete button? God damn it. I forget how to moderate. Let's see. The colors. Where's the delete button? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to remember how to delete messages. Mod view, identity, item. Blocked. How about stream boo? I make that a blocked term. Maybe I should do that. I'm trying to figure out how to delete. No. I'm trying to sorry, I'm getting distracted trying to get rid of this bot, even though it's just one. I'm trying to remember, I'm still new to Twitch, so I don't remember exactly how to remove these bots. The chat settings. Oh, whatever. Just ignore them. Let's go back to Domino here. Sorry for that interruption. But I guess later on I'll stream boo, like stream plus boo from Mario. I guess I'll just enter that as a blocked term or something, and bots won't be able to link that. What I'm assuming is a spam site. Okay, where was I? Before I lost my train of thought, whatever. Jeez. Oh, damn it. Someone's in the bathroom and they turn the fan on. I hate when they do that. Anyway. Okay. Highlights on Domino's chest and stomach. Oops. And for his belly button, I might make that a separate layer. Just to emphasize its roundness. Maybe I just keep it like this and add extra highlights on his belly button. I don't know. Shit, dude. There we go. Oh, there we go. That's how I do it. Alright, now I figured it out. I just click the username, welcoming K-Girl Bandom, and delete. There we go. This action cannot be completed. Well, at least the message is deleted. There. That's what I do. There we go. Yeah, I feel a bit stupid. I just had to click the username, and that's how I did it. I kept clicking the 3 buttons. Or the 3 dots. Yeah, like, you can tell I'm still a bit new to Twitch. Forgetting how to ban people. There. Try to highlight Domino's belly button. Let's do a little highlight on his knee. We are the knights who say knee! I just couldn't resist. Probably I'll add on his other knee here. Well, I guess it doesn't need to be too much because it's a little lower. A little farther away from the fire. And then highlights on los dedos. Dedos de las patas. Shit. There we go. I mean, you know, I probably could, like, appoint someone to be a moderator for me. But I'm not that big yet. It's not like I'm getting swarmed by bots, like every 5 minutes or something. Okay. There. Where else? Oh yeah, Domino's arms. These highlights are well, the highlights on Domino's arms is biceps mostly. And tiny bit there. And then mostly I think on his thumb. Probably be some of the brightest highlights because they're so close to the flaming pie. There. And his other arm. Well, his other arm will be the opposite, like almost completely in the light. Maybe. It's a little bit towards the head shadow, and then let's see. Oh shit. There we go. There we are. Okay, so I have a bunch of, let's see, a bunch of highlight layers that I'll have to go one by one. Let's see how many. Okay, 12 minutes. I might go for another half hour or so. No, I need to get some water. One moment, water break. Actually, I could use some chapstick also. Oh, I forgot.
Blastoise has a little friend. So I guess I'll put Squirtle right over here. I don't have Wartortle, though. I thought I'd show off something, just a little diversion. I don't know if this is visible in some of my Peter the Cat videos. Jeez, I need to clear my throat, but here, let me make this. Yeah, I want to full screen this. Little diversion. Look at what I swiped. There we go. You think Morbius is going to be in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars? You know, he's probably going to be like the most important character. The character that saves everyone from Doctor Doom and, I don't know, restores the Marvel Universe or something. Yeah, I swiped this. And I would have liked if I could get like a placard or something for Avengers Endgame or something, but I forgot to pick that up. But I picked this up. Yeah. Have it as a decoration. Yeah. I didn't bother getting a placard for Madam Web. A friend and I saw both Morbius and Madam Web together, and excuse me. Yeah, those weren't very good films. Okay, let me shrink down. Okay. It's a little weird. See the checker pattern just very faintly, but I thought the black background is at 100%, so oh well. But anyway, let's start doing these highlights. Ignore that. Well, of course, step 1, select pixels, invert. Just to get all the outside pixels gone. Okay, that's the easy part. I guess I'll just start at the top. Okay, so Domino's mask. Well, all I have to do is select Domino's mask color. Go down over here. See where's... There. I'll just put HL short for highlight. This will be the muzzle. Oh, once again, I'll probably do mask. Select. And also include the nose. That'll just make things a little easier. I'll move these highlight layers down because I don't want them overcast shadows. Kind of just put them in random spots. I was just thinking something weird. Like, I have a friend that I mentioned this in my Pi Day stream like last month. In fact, exactly 1 month ago, because Pi Day was March 14th and today's April 14th. I have a friend that was really into the play Sweeney Todd, and that's why I was singing Worst Pies in London on my Pi Day stream. And the both of us checked out the Tim Burton adaptation, and I don't know, just occurred to me. I think the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory remake, what year was that? 2005, 2006? I don't remember, but shoot. And Sweeney Todd came out in 2007, and just thinking of the opening credits with, spoilers for anyone that's never seen the play or seen the Tim Burton movie. It involves Sweeney Todd, the main character, and the worst pie woman, Mrs. Lovett, shoving people that Sweeney murders into pies to make human meat pies. And the opening credits of Sweeney Todd shows all the blood and meat from Sweeney Todd's victims, and it just made me wonder that Tim Burton did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory previously and then Sweeney Todd, and it's like, I don't know, is it kind of like he's contrasting the making of chocolate with the making of human meat pies? I don't know, that just occurred to me. I don't know. Cannibalism and chocolate. Oh God! So I should have quoted that one quote from Johnny Depp, Willy Wonka. Everything in this room is eatable. Even I'm eatable. Although that would be called cannibalism, my dear children. And that is frowned upon in most societies. Yeah. I don't know. Just random thoughts that occur to me while I'm just working on art. Okay. Muzzle HL1. I just remembered that Twitch has rules about no disturbing content. Is talking about an R-rated movie that involves cannibalism and meat pies, is that considered inappropriate content? I was really surprised by the list of games you're not allowed to play on Twitch. I'm not going to repeat any of the titles, but it's I don't know, why would anyone want to even play these games? Other than for maybe sheer shock value. I mean, I'm surprised such games even exist. And all I can say is, all the overprotective parents and politicians that think video games are murder simulators. It's when you have a whole list of banned games like that, it's you're not doing gamers a favor. You're kind of just proving, the moral guardian's correct, unfortunately. I mean, there's a comic idea. Maybe one of my characters, Shank the Platypus or someone else, or Cinnamon, tries to live stream banned games on Twitch. Let's see. Excuse me. Bit of a hiccup there. How long? Okay, 23 minutes. Where was I? Shoot. Highlight. Okay, Domino's inner mouth. I should have put the mouth on a separate color layer just so it's easier to select. And the tongue as well. Although, actually they get selected pretty easily. I didn't draw any highlights for the teeth. Now that I realize. Alrighty, here we go. There we go. Just wondering. I think it's fine. I was a little concerned, like maybe some of the highlights might go outside on the shoulders and the neck, but I think they're alright. Let's say cheek, chin, HL. Okay, here I think I can just do the mask thing again. There we go. There we go. Alright, how many more layers do I have to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wow. Only 6. There's... There we go. There we are. Almost dark. I was thinking like walking the dogs after I'm done streaming. Just get myself some exercise. Oops. Oh, wrong layer, but it doesn't matter. I didn't delete an area that was in the selection. Very carefully. There. Yeah, just none on the chest. Okay, now I think this area.
There we go. Okay, now I'm... Oh, damn it. Okay, good. I need to remember to switch layers. There we go. Shrink this. There we are. Okay. Arm gel dos. Brazo. Now. There we go. Highlights on Domino's foot. If I recall, I think I had highlights on the other one also. I should check. Yes, I did have highlights on the other one. Although it blends in with the knee highlight, so I don't think I really need to worry too much. Yeah, they actually go together well. It's only here I need to worry. Here. Okay, how many more? 2 more. Probably going to the chest and stomach. Oh, there's this belly button. I think we don't need to worry about that one. It's stomach and chest. Mostly just Go. It's just the arm. And this should be the last one. And I'll just move them down a few layers so they're under the cast shadows. Just in case. I'm also going to include the foot here. I don't think I did a good job here. This side of his stomach isn't really highlighted. This side over here. So I might redo that. So I'll just keep the chest highlight. But let's see how this looks so far. The colors. Yeah, if I turn on the orange tint, I have to be careful. Like some of the cast shadows are like solid colors and not like I just make it very maybe make the orange tint very, very light. Okay. Let's redo the highlight on the stomach. So save. Oh good, I still have the... I should put that on my little color ref thing. Where is it? I have a layer called like notes or something or color refs. There we go, color ref. There. Make this a little bigger. There we go, that's better. A little more even. Maybe more like. There we go. Make it more like his belly button sticking out. Okay, save this. Open this again. How much time? 40 minutes. Yeah, I'll probably quit around 8:30 or something. Zach Stoney JX, hello. I hope that's not another spammer. I mean, it's kind of a... Sorry, it looks a little suspicious, like welcoming gator. Account created February 12th, 2019. Okay. Oh, following me since April today? Okay. Sorry if you're a real person. It's just we had a spammer earlier and I just got a little suspicious. But I hope you're enjoying the stream. It's a pretty chill stream. Chill stream, kill stream. Okay. Now. I think the last thing after I'm done with these highlights will be reflected light. Okay, I probably don't need to be that wide. There we are. Okay. There we go. There we go. Get rid of that layer. Okay. Let's move all the highlight layers. Under the shadow layers. There we go. Oh! I forgot to put any highlights on the tongue. I should do that. And highlights on the teeth. So let me do that really quick. Okay. 13th version. All right. There we go. Let me turn off. Doesn't matter which layer, how high it is. There we go. Shit. There we go. Probably do I have a layer for strong highlights somewhere. I'll just do it the glint layer. That's where I put like eye shines. Highlights for tongue. There. Yeah, that's all. Look very carefully, I guess. Very tiny amount of cast shadow peeking out from there. Since Domino is a white guinea pig, and there isn't really much need for like a lot of highlights on him. Maybe on his mask a bit. Maybe some really bright spots. A little brighter than that. There. Oh shit, did I? Oh, I accidentally put the... Oh, doesn't matter. It's far away from actual cast shadows. I put it on the wrong layer. Put it on the cast shadow layer rather than the glint layer, but it's easily fixed. Okay, it's not so easily fixed. Okay. Before I do the reflected light, I'm trying to think. Actually, wait. Let's go to my. See how reflected light will look. Ooh. Yeah, I just took Domino's normal fur color and applying it. Probably won't have it be that bright. Basically, just some roundness to Domino. Okay, almost an hour. It's almost okay. Okay, I'll go over this with eraser just to make it a little softer. Oh, thank you, Zach. Yeah, I'm making reflected light like 60% or something. That could be good. I'm just having it on 100% just so I can see it more easily. Yeah, I don't do reflected light very often in drawings. I usually don't bother, but this one time, and I wanted to put some extra effort into this because I want this to be like a a stream overlay. Oops. Yeah, having like little reflected light does like just add an extra bit of roundness to Domino. Hmm. There we go. So that's reflected light on Domino's face. Now I guess on his back and maybe parts of his arm also. And let me look at looking at my photo reps. Yeah. Back of my shoulder. A little bit on my arm. Guess I'll put a bit of reflected light here. Probably not all the arm, though. Actually, maybe I mean, it's like part of the arm will be hidden by the flaming pie. So it's not like you'll see all of it. Anything that goes outside the lines, I can just fix later. Maybe a little bit of, I don't know, there's something behind Domino that's illuminating him from behind. I don't know. Just save. So, see a little bit of, well, this is the same color as Domino's regular fur, so it's like, I can just, remember, layer 7. An imperfection. There we go. Layer 7. There. Okay. There we are. Right. Maybe do a little reflected light on his finger here. Even in the darkness, do a little bit of light. Okay, now. Looking at my photo, I don't see a lot of reflected light on the bottom of my arm. I did add reflected light to this arm here. I might as well just make it look even. Plus, it looks kind of neat. Adding a little almost sheen to the fur. There we are. It's 8:39. Well, if I walk the dogs now, it'd be pretty late. Night walks can be interesting. I still need to exercise anyway. Okay. I love the nightlife. I've got to boogie. I should not sing. Almost all colored pink like this. It does look almost like he has a sunburn almost. Of course, I may adjust this later. Maybe it's a blue or blue shadows or something. There we go. Excuse me. I do like the reflected light here. Reflected light on the bottom of his foot. Now, the darkest part of the cast shadow, there won't be any reflected light. There. Should there be reflected light on his belly button? Why not? There we go. Now the bottom of the stomach. I'll try to finish in like 10-20 minutes. I probably said that a couple times. I'll try to finish by this time. It's like, nah, I keep going. How about 8:50? Anything that goes outside lines, that's fine. I can just... pixel select or whatever. There you go. Reflect light on the bottom of the toes. I don't know. Maybe just the back of the foot. Okay. Okay. Oops. There. There. Now Almost done. There we go. There we go. Okay. Erase it slightly and then I'll take it into Photoshop and get rid of any reflected light that goes outside the outlines. Okay. I forget what's there's 6. Okay, let's just save and okay, is there anything else I'm forgetting? The last couple highlights, reflected light. Well, after I'm done with all the lights and everything, I'm gonna change the I'm gonna shift the color of Domino's shadows to make them like blue or something, or a cool color, just to see how they contrast with the fire and see if I like that, or if not, I'll just keep them like pink like this. Actually, wait. I just thought something like, what if I had reflected light on the eyes themselves? Or so. Because when Domino's eyes are like red like this, it almost looks like he's stoned. Just to see how this looks. Like even his eyes are kind of round. Actually, wait. It does look a bit neat when, like, even his eyes have a bit of reflected light on them. So they look more rounded. With the inside of his belly button having reflected light, I'm not really sure. That doesn't matter. Let's take this into Photoshop. 8:50 now, but 9 o'clock. 10 more minutes. And I should be almost done with this. Okay, so, well, first let's see layer 6. Oh, no pixel selected. Then I shall delete layer 6 here. Select pixels. Invert. There. But one more. There it is. Really close. Invert. So any reflected light that goes outside the eye whites I can just, there we go. There we go. Get all that. Now what else? Oh yeah. Go down, let's last couple, oh yeah, the teeth. Highlight on the teeth. I can just slip it like this. Okay, and then there we go. Ooh, I made it. Shoulder crack. Shoot. Yeah. There we go. Doesn't look too bad. I might go over the flame just a bit. Maybe to add some more red to the gaps there. I do remember, like, working on this, I did move some of the layers, so it might be a bit difficult to, like, match layers exactly where I moved them. It's getting late, but I just want to do a quick experiment. Let's see. Different backgrounds. Again, save one more time. Okay, now all of Domino's shadows are in one layer. Let me save this as a separate file. 14. Today is the 14th. Now, let's see. If I make it blue, I can now adjust the shadows however I want. Or if I make them darker or saturated. This is kind of neat, seeing how I can adjust the shadows however I want. Well, let me duplicate. I have one that's the original shadows. And copy that I can just mess around with. Mouth Actually, you know what? I'll merge the mouth also. Okay. Okay, so now the mouth shadow will be affected also. Like if I... Kind of like this, where it's almost at the end. Not sure if I want to saturate it that much. Yeah. No. I kind of do like the cooler shadows instead of the warmer ones. Yeah, the color theory I learned that it's correct that when you have a reddish orange light, you should have blue shadows. Likewise, if you have a blue light, you should have more reddish shadows. I think that does work. See. If I put Domino against a blue background, I think it works with a black, a dark background, like Domino's being illuminated. I like that. Let's see, in the orange color, like you can see the slight difference. I don't know if it's, visible enough, but he does look. I'm not sure which I prefer. Like either. Let's see what I make the orange tint a little. Yeah, it becomes a little too clear that some shadows are gray, and not see-through. But light amount like 15 or 10%. I think is okay. I mean, I could do two versions, one where he's slightly glowing orange, and then another where it's more closer to his actual colors. But I am happy with how this looks. I'll probably expand this so it'd be an overlay or something, and then maybe add some glowing around the fire, and I don't know, maybe add GuineaPigDan's stream is starting in however long, total meltdown imminent. Okay, it's 9 o'clock, so I'll just save here. I think I'm good for now. All right. I'll just, there we go. Well, I guess that's all for tonight. So, wow. So this would be almost a 3-hour stream, geez. But anyway, I don't know when I'll post this to YouTube. I said on Blue Sky that I might slow down uploading these to YouTube just because, my computer has limited memory and everything. So anyway, if you want to support me, I guess I have a cafe press. You can buy stuff there. Shirts like my GuineaPigDan shirt. Well, that one's unique just for me, but having my characters on buttons and everything. And, I'm open for art commissions on DeviantArt and for Affinity. just ask me for my prices if you're interested. And I don't know, maybe in the future I'll start a Ko-fi, or well, actually I already did start a Ko-fi, but maybe I'll somehow attach my Ko-fi to Twitch if I don't know you want to donate or you want to pay for a commission through that way. I don't know. Anyway, that's all for tonight. Say goodnight. Squirtle Squad and Blastoise Squad. Yeah, I don't have my sunglasses with me, so GuineaPigDan signing out. Good night, everyone, and thank you for watching. Ending stream